So the third property is multiplicative property of 1. What says a number multiply by 1 the number itself. The result is the number itself. Now come to the example. Suppose 23 times 1. It will give 23 only. Right? 146 times 1. It will give 146 only. Right? Now come to the 4-digit 1435 times 1. It will give 1435, the number itself. So the conclusion is a number multiplied by 1, the result is the number itself. A number multiplied by 1, the result is number itself. So like this, okay. So thus the product of a number by 1 is the number itself. This is called the multiplicative property of 1. Okay. Multiplicative property of 1. That's it.
Yeah.
So the next property is fifth property, which is distributive property of multiplication over addition. What is this property? This is very useful property, okay. So now the property is A times...
Is it like a repeated addition?
No, not like that. Not. We will distribute this A, see, distributive property of multiplication over addition. Because this we will distribute with A, distribute with B, A distribute with C. Very important property. This will help a lot in mathematics. Not in this grade, till higher grade, this will be a very useful property, okay. Spatial algebra,
B plus
arithmetic, okay.
A times B plus A times C.
Yeah, what is this concept? Look here, look at the board, kindly pay attention. Okay, I will give you time for writing, okay. A, distributive property of multiplication over addition. So multiplication. So A multiply, under the parenthesis we have B plus C. Okay, how you will distribute here? A with multiplication sign you will distribute in this part. Look at A times B. Then this addition sign we will use it here, okay. Then again A times multiply with the C, which is here, okay. Now come to the example, so you will understand. Suppose, for example, 4 times 6 plus 7. Now this property 4 times 6, how you will write it? 4 times 6, plus sign is common, use it in between. Again 4 times 7. 4 times 7. Now before equal sign we call it a left hand side, okay, and after equal sign we call it a right hand side. So when you solve it separately, now when you solve it, suppose I am solving this 4 times 6 plus 7, okay, and this 4 times 6 plus 4 times 7, we solve it separately. So first you will solve the parenthesis. So 6 plus 7 will be 13, yeah, and 13 times 4 is 52, yeah. Now here you will solve separately, okay. First you will separate, multiply this and then add them, okay. So 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is
42.
That 4 times 7 is beta 28. 4 times 7.
Oh.
Yeah. So 24 plus 28 will be 52. Now you can see it here. Both the values are correct. Both the values are correct. Both the side. So conclusion is yes. 4 times 6 plus 7, when you distribute like this, 4 times 6 plus 4 times 7 like this, okay. So in this similar manner, we can say that we shall have the result is true for the large number also, okay. So this property is known as distributive property of multiplication over addition. This property will be used as a tool for multiplying a large number. I will give you the examples. This is very useful property for the large number when we have the numbers. So you can use this property and find the answer within a second. This property is a magical property. Even in the many topic will use the same property. That's why this property is very important. This property we will learn with the distributive property of multiplication over subtraction also.
Properties.
Yeah.
Oh.
So today we will learn properties of multiplication of numbers. Okay. Now, first, in already the class, the previous grade, we have learned how to multiply a given number by a number, right, consisting of 2 or less digits, right. We have also studied the various properties of multiplication, right, the simple properties we have learned in the previous classes. Now, in multiplication, sum, what is that? Okay, now first try to understand the term of the multiplication. Okay, what term will use it and what is the, yes, so now write down first in a multiplication sum, what are the important part? Suppose you are multiplying 123 times 4. 123 times 4. Okay, this is
in multiplication. It's not actually sums.
Yeah, actually multiplication sum means multiplication sum is not like the related to the addition. Sum is in the other meaning. Okay, now in this, suppose you are finding the multiplication, so the number to be multiplied is called the multiplicand. So what is the multiplicand? This part we call it a multiplicand. This part, which part? The number to be multiplied is called the multiplicand. The number by which we multiply is called the multiplier. This is the multiplier. The 4 we call it a multiplier. Okay. Now, find the answer. Find the answer. 123 times 4 is what?
Two, 492.
Correct. Absolutely correct. 492. 492. So what you call it this? So the result of the multiplication is called the product. What you call? Product.
Product.
Okay. So this is the, you can use the vertical method or you can use the horizontal method. Okay. Both method you can use it. Any method you can use it. Okay. You will get the same answer in both. Okay. Got it? So 123 times 4. So 123, because 123 is the number which to be multiplied. So we call it a multiplicand. And the number to be multiplied is called a multiplicand, the number by which the multiply, we call it a multiplier. And the result of the multiplication is product. Okay? Product is this. So understood the terminology of the multiplication? Yes? Understood the terminology? Now come to the properties. Okay? Now the next property is, fourth property is multiplicative property of 0. What is this property? This property is any number, okay, any number multiply with 0, the result is 0 only. 0 multiply with the any number, the result is 0 only, right? So a number times 0, a number multiply by 0, or a, in place of a we can write it any. Any number multiply with 0 will give it 0 only. For example, 48 times 0, it will give 0 only. 219 times 0, the result is 0, the product is 0. 7654 multiply by 0 will give it 0 only. This is the multiplicative property of 0. Now the fifth property, I explain it after this, which is very, very important property. So multiplicative property of 0, any number multiply by 0, the result will be 0. The product of a number by 0 is 0. This is called the multiplicative property of 0. Now the second property is group property. Group property we can use for more than 2 numbers. Okay, order property for 2 numbers, group property for more than 2 numbers. Okay, when we have 3 numbers, 4 numbers, you can use it the group property. So group property says the product of 3 numbers, okay, A, B, C are any 3 number, okay. So the product of 3 numbers does not change when the grouping of numbers is changed. When the grouping, see here I have grouped A and B. Here I have grouped B and C. And one more variation, you can write it there. You can write it A and C. You can write it in the group. So the conclusion is, if we find that the changing the grouping, the product is not changed. Okay, let's understand with the example. Suppose 10 times 7. I am giving the, suppose we are taking the 3 numbers, which is 10, 7 and easy numbers. Okay, so find the product. Find the product 10, 7 and 5. Now see, these 3 numbers will use it in the different grouping method. Suppose 10 times 7 times 5. See the result. Then 10 times 7 times 5. Then 10 times 5 times 7. If you find the result of all 3 variations, you will get 350. Why? Because first you will multiply 10 times 7, because these 2 numbers are in group. So 10 times 7 is 70. 70 times 5 is 350. Same 7 times 5, because these 2 numbers are in parentheses. So first we will solve this one. So 7 times 5 is 35. 35 times 10 is 350 again. 10 times 5 is 50. 50 times 7 is 350. So the conclusion is, if you multiply in any order, the product of 3 numbers does not change when the grouping of numbers is changed. This property is known as grouping property of multiplication. because we are using the multiplication sign. So the conclusion is, thus we find that on changing the grouping, the product is not changed. We shall find that this is true for large number also. Same you can use it with the large numbers. So there is no change, right? Understood the concept? Group property of multiplication. So now order property of multiplication. Okay, so suppose we have the product 36 times 23. Okay, or what we can do now, I can give it for the format, then you can write it the example. Okay, so format is, if A multiply by B and B multiply by A. So if you change the order, please let me know, if you change the order, your product will change or not. If you change the order, for example, 36 times 23 and 23 times 36, if you change the order, so your product will change.
The product won't change.
Yes, correct. So 23 times 36, when you find the product, okay, when you find the result, so it will become 828, right?
Yeah.
828, okay. So in that, what is the conclusion? The product of two number does not change when the order of number is changed. When the order of number is changed, but the product will not change. So this property is known as order property of multiplication.
Okay.
Yeah. So we may take the product of other numbers, okay, taken in pair. Okay, always taken in pair, because multiplication in pair. So we shall find in each case that by changing the order of numbers, the product is not changed. The product is not changed. So the result is true for large number also. Okay, if you take, this is the 2 digits number, if you take 3 digits, 4 digits, 5 digits, any digits, okay, if you change the order, then the result does not change. When the order of number is changed, the product of two number does not change. So this property is order property of multiplication. Okay. Now the next is multiplication of a number by 10, 100, 1000 and so on. Okay. So when to multiply a given number by 10, insert 1 0 on the right of the given number. So suppose your number is 25. Multiply by 10. So how you will solve it? So insert 1 0 on the right of the given number. What is your given number? 25. So you just put 1 0, because here is 1 0. So you will add 1 0 after your given number. Okay. Now the second is suppose 147 times 10. So how you will write it?
1470.
Exactly, 1470, 1470. Why? Because here is 1 0, so you just add 1 0 in that part, right? In the next one, to multiply a given number by 100, then 79 times 100. If we will multiply with the 100, because of here
7900.
Exactly. So insert 2 0 on the right of the given number. So 7900. Okay. I am giving one more example. 2784 times 100. So the answer become
78400.
Excellent. Right. Now come to the 3 0. Suppose we have 1000. So 54 times 1000. Because here we have 3 zeros. So we will insert 3 zeros on the right of the given number, which is?
So it's 54000.
Absolutely correct. So this is 2, so this is 2. This is 2, so this is 3. Now the last example, which is 4 digit number, 484583 times 1000.
583.
So to multiply a given number by 1000, insert 30 on the right of the.
Oh, it's 458310000.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Okay. Now this is the rule for the multiplication of a number by 10, 100, 1000 and so on. Okay. Now next is the different property. So the next is multiplication of a number by a multiple of 10, 100, 1000 and so on. Now I am going to explain with the example. Okay. So suppose the question is 289 times 20. 20 is the multiple of 10. Yeah? Is it? Yes. So how you will solve it? Now look at the board. So 289 you will write it as it is. 2 you can give it here and 10 you can write it here, right? You can break it 2 times 10. You can break it like this, 20. First you will multiply 289 by 2, which is 578. Yeah, 578 times 10. And as you know it, how to solve after this, right? 5780. Why 10 I am inserting here? Because here is 10, so we can insert directly in the product. Yeah, understood? Now the second example. For example, 478 times 40. So now 40 we can break by 4 times 10. Yeah? Yes or no? 40 we can break by 4 times 10, right? It is a multiple of 10. So how you can write it? 478 times 4 times 10. Now you will normal product of 479 times 4. Normal multiplication, which is 1912. 1912 times 10. As you know it, how to solve it? You will just write a given number and insert a 10 because 10 is here. So 19120. This is the answer. Any confusion? Understood the concept? Right? So whatever, this is multiplication of a number. See, last property was multiplication of a number by directly 10, 100, 1000 and so on, right? Now this property is different. Multiplication of a number by a multiple of 10, 100, 1000. So multiple is 20. 20 is a multiple of 10. 40 is a multiple of 10. Okay. Now I am giving the example of 100. 100 and thousands. Okay. So now I am giving the example. The next is 86 times 300. Now 300 is a multiple of 100 as you know it, right? So how you will write it? 86 times 3 times 100. Now you will normal multiply 86 times 3. 86 times 3 will be 258. 258 times 100. As you can see it here, here is 20. You will insert after your given number these 20. You will get your result. See, this is your answer. Yeah. Now the next example for 100. So the question is 324 times 500. Again 500 is a multiple of 100, right? So how you can break it? 500? 324 times 5 times 100. So 324 times 5 will be 1620. 1620 times 100. As you can see it here, the same thing. There is 20. You will write after your number. You will add 20 with your numbers. So this is your answer. Understood? Bacha, any confusion? Any doubt? Please tell me fast.
No.
No? Sure?
Yeah.
Now the next is 4,000. 97 times 4,000.
97 times 4,000 is 97000.
Really? Where is the 4?
Oh, yeah.
97 times 4 you will break. Basically first bacha, you will break down 4,000 into 4 times 1,000. Okay? Then easily you will get your answer. So first you will multiply 97 times 4.
4,000. 97 times 4 times 1,000. 388.
Then first you will multiply normally as you know it, how to multiply it, right? So 97 times 4 will be 388. Then check the zeros, number of 0. There is 2 0. Just add with your number. 38800. This is your answer. Next, I'm taking the 4-digit number. Okay, so 2316 times 8,000. 8,000 again. It's a multiple of 1,000. So how you can break it? 8,000. 2316 times 8 and 1,000 you can write it in outside. And then 2316 when you multiply with the 8, then you will get 18,528 times 1,000. Now as you can see it on the board, there is 30. You just insert 30 with your given number. This is your final answer. See the property all done. Multiplication properties. We have learned 6 properties today. First is order property. Second is group property. Third is multiplicative property of 1. Fourth is multiplicative property of 0. Fifth is distributive property of multiplication over addition. Sixth is multiplication of a number by 10, 100, 1,000. And the last is multiplication of a number by a multiple of 10, 100 and thousands and so on. So now done the properties of multiplications